Let me tell you about four people, each from a different stage of life, each believing they were doing the right thing with money. Robert is 68. He worked hard for decades, bought a house early, raised his family, and from the outside, his life looks stable and successful. For years, everything seemed perfect. He followed the path everyone around him respected, and it felt like he had truly made it. Karen is 52. She built a strong career, raised two kids, upgraded her lifestyle over time, and enjoyed the rewards of her hard work. She earned well, lived comfortably, and created a life that looked successful in every visible way. Marcus is 38. He worked consistently, paid off his debts slowly, watched others move ahead financially, and chose to enjoy life in the present. He spent on experiences, travel, and small luxuries because saving for something that felt out of reach didn't seem meaningful. And then there is Zoe, 24, young, aware, and already thinking about money in ways her previous generations never did. She invests a little, learns about finance online, and tries to balance enjoying life while planning for the future. Four people, four different decades, four different lifestyles, yet all of them unknowingly stepped into the same hidden pattern. It is not obvious, it doesn't feel like a mistake, and that's exactly why it is so powerful. This pattern has nothing to do with being careless or irresponsible with money. In fact, most people caught in it believe they are doing everything right. They plan, they think, they try to make smart decisions, yet something still holds them back. The truth is simple. Every generation grows up with an invisible definition of success, a certain house, a certain lifestyle, certain experiences, and a certain image that represents making it. No one teaches it directly, but everyone absorbs it through society, family, and culture. And when the time comes, people start building their lives around that image. It feels natural, it feels deserved, and it feels like progress. Robert grew up believing that owning a home was the ultimate sign of stability. So when he had the chance, he bought the best house he could afford, and he built his life around it. Over time, his house increased in value, and on paper, he became wealthy. But most of his wealth stayed locked inside that house. He spent years maintaining it, improving it, and protecting that image of success. Meanwhile, other parts of his financial life did not grow as much as they should have. The house was not the problem. The belief that it was enough was the real issue. Karen's situation looked different, but the pattern was similar. Every time her income increased, her lifestyle expanded along with it. A better car, a bigger home, better experiences. Everything seemed justified. Each decision made sense individually. She could afford it. She had earned it. But over time, her expenses kept rising at the same speed as her income. So even though she earned more, her savings did not grow significantly. She built a life that looked successful, but the long-term security behind it was not as strong as it appeared. Marcus faced a different reality. Opportunities felt limited, and traditional milestones seemed out of reach. So instead of chasing what he couldn't have, he focused on enjoying what he could. He traveled, created memories, and lived in the moment. Those experiences were real and valuable, but they slowly replaced the habit of building long-term assets. Without realizing it, he traded future stability for present satisfaction. Zoe represents a new generation, more aware, more informed, and more exposed to financial knowledge than ever before. She understands investing, she has started early, and she talks about financial growth confidently. But she also lives in a world where appearance is constantly visible. The way life looks online becomes just as important as how it actually is. So, while she invests a small portion, she spends more on maintaining a certain image. Aesthetic choices, lifestyle upgrades, and visible signals of success quietly take priority. She is building, but at the same time, she is also performing. So what connects all four of them is not their age, income, or decisions. It's the same underlying mistake, focusing more on looking successful than actually becoming secure. This pattern is subtle because it feels right from the inside. It feels like progress, responsibility, and reward. But the difference between real financial growth and temporary satisfaction is where the money goes after it's earned. People who avoid this trap make one key shift in thinking. They separate appearance from reality, and they choose to prioritize what grows quietly over what looks impressive immediately. They don't rush to upgrade everything in their lives. They delay certain comforts, stay within limits, and invest the difference consistently. They understand that real wealth is not something you display, it's something that supports you when it matters most. For Robert, it would have meant building financial security alongside owning a home. For Karen, it would have meant controlling lifestyle growth despite increasing income. For Marcus, it would have meant balancing enjoyment with consistent investing. For Zoe, it means focusing more on actual numbers than visible image. The principle is simple, but not easy to follow. Build assets first, upgrade lifestyle later. Not forever, but long enough for your money to start working for you. Because at the end of the day, financial success is not about how things look from the outside. It's about how stable, flexible, and secure your life is when no one is watching. So, now the real question is not about them, it's about you. Which version of this pattern are you living right now?